Hi everybody, welcome back to Cammie's Kids Reading. Today we'll be starting with Franklin is Lost by Paulette Bourgeois. Franklin could slide down a riverbank. He could count forwards and backwards. He could zip zippers and button buttons. He could even walk to Bear's house all by himself. But Franklin was not allowed to go into the woods alone. One day Franklin said, "I'm going to play at Bear's house." "All right," said Franklin's mother, "but be home for dinner by 6 o'clock. She showed him the time with the hands of the clock. And Franklin, she warned, "don't go into the woods alone." Franklin raced down the path, over the bridge, and across the berry patch. Bear was there. Fox was there. Goose and Otter were there. "I'm here," huffed Franklin. "What are you playing?" "Hide and seek," shouted his friends. "And you're it." Franklin started counting. Hide and seek was his favorite game. He wasn't very fast, but he was very clever. He knew Bear was always hid in the berry patch. Franklin looked around. He saw a shaggy paw swipe at a branch of berries. "I see you, Bear," he called. Franklin spotted feathers and fur under the bridge. "I see you, Goose. I see you, Otter," he called. Only Fox was left to find. Franklin walked this way and that. He looked into bushes and searched under logs. He walked along the path and over the bridge, and without even thinking, he walked right into the woods. He looked into burrows and all around trees. Franklin searched everywhere, but he couldn't find Fox. Fox wasn't in the woods at all. He was hiding inside Bear's house. After a while, he shouted, "Can't catch me?" But Franklin couldn't hear him. He was too far away. "Where's Franklin?" asked Fox. Nobody knew. They waited a long time. Bear's tummy grumbled. Finally, Goose said, "It's almost 6 o'clock. Franklin must have hurried home for supper." "Of course," they said, and off they went. At Franklin's house, the clock struck 6. Franklin's parents were annoyed. Their supper was ready. By 6:30 they were worried and went looking for Franklin. Franklin's father searched along the path. "Franklin," he called, "where are you?" Franklin's mother talked to his friends. "Where's Franklin?" she asked Bear. "Where's Franklin?" she asked Otter and Goose. "Where's Franklin?" she asked Fox. Nobody knew. Now they were worried too. It was getting dark. Franklin turned one way and then another. Every tree looked the same. Every rock looked the same. He couldn't find the path. "I'm lost," said Franklin in a tiny little voice. He couldn't remember which way he had come. He didn't know which way to go. He was tired and frightened and all alone. Franklin curled up in his small dark shell and waited. Somebody would come. Sometime. Wouldn't they? Dark shadows flitted across the rocks. "Who's there?" whispered Franklin, but no one answered because it was the clouds blowing across the face of the moon. "Hoo! Hoo! Who's there?" whispered Franklin, but no one answered because it was an owl far, far away. "Phew! Phew!" "Who's there?" whispered Franklin, but no one answered because it was the wind whistling through the trees. Franklin tried to sleep, but every sound made him jump. He was humming himself a little tune when he heard crick, crack, crick, crack, crick, crack, crick, crack, crick, crack, squish. "Who's there?" whispered Franklin, but no one answered. Then Franklin heard a new sound. It sounded like someone calling his name. He heard it again. "Here I am! Here I am!" Franklin shouted over and over. Crick, crack, crick, crack, crick, crack, squish. Franklin's parents came over the knoll. "There you are!" They hugged him and kissed him and held him tight. "We were so worried," said Franklin's father. "You were told not to go into the woods alone," scolded his mother. "It wasn't on purpose," sniffed Franklin. "I was looking for Fox and I forgot." "Well, thank goodness you're safe," said Franklin's parents. They found the path and walked all the way home. Their supper was still warm in the oven. After 2 helpings of everything, Franklin had something important to say. "I'm sorry. I promise I'll never go into the woods alone again." "Even if Fox hides there?" asked his mother. "Even if Bear hides there?" asked his father. "Even if everyone hides there," said Franklin. It was 1/2 past bedtime. Franklin crawled into his warm, safe shell. "Good night, dear," said his parents, but no one answered because Franklin had fallen fast asleep. The end. The Great Gracie Chase. Stop That Dog by Cynthia, Rylant, and Mark Teague. Once there was a little round dog named Gracie Rose. She was a very good dog. She helped the bigger dog watch the house. She kept the kitty company. She even sang to the fish when it was lonely. You see, Gracie loved a quiet house. She loved the kitty sleeping on the windowsill, the big dog sleeping on the couch, the quiet fish going ploop ploop. For Gracie, a quiet home was the best home. Gracie Rose was good every single day of her life, except for one, the day the painters came. Gracie did not like the painters, but she did not know this until the day they came to her house. So when they arrived one day to paint Gracie's kitchen, she did not like it. Here they came in a big, noisy truck. There they were at the door with their clangy ladders and big person voices. There they were, dragging chairs across Gracie's quiet kitchen floor. Gracie Rose watched them with her ears straight up in the air, and she was not happy. She barked and told them to go outside. But do you know what? Gracie was put outside. And she did not like it one bit. So Gracie, that silly little dog who loved a quiet house, decided to do something naughty. Gracie decided to take a walk, all by herself. Somebody had left the gate open, probably a busy painter. Gracie was supposed to be a good dog and never go through that gate by herself, but she did. And when she was halfway down the street, she heard someone say loudly, "Where's Gracie?" And that began the Great Gracie Chase. Because when the people in the house came outside to find her, and the painters came outside, and the neighbors came outside, and the garage man stepped out of his truck, and the paper boy stopped his bike, and the delivery woman pulled over, and everyone said, "There's Gracie," Gracie started to run. Gracie did not know why she was running, except that suddenly everybody in the world was trying to catch her, and she did not want to be caught. So Gracie ran down the street, and everybody else ran down the street too. Gracie ran up the hill, and everybody else ran up the hill. Gracie ran across the schoolyard, and everybody else ran across the schoolyard. Gracie ran through the water fountain, and everyone else ran through the water fountain, well, except the cat, who did not like water fountains. The chase got bigger. "Stop that dog!" everybody cried, which only made Gracie run faster, and soon the whole town was watching or running in the Great Gracie Chase. So many people. Poor little Gracie. She did not like this walk all by herself. It was too quick and too noisy, and all she wanted to be was beside her fish again. but she couldn't stop running now. Everyone wanted to catch her. So she ran and ran and ran until pretty soon the painters had to stop because they couldn't catch their breath, and the delivery woman had to stop because her feet hurt, and the paper boy had to stop because his bike broke, and someone else had to stop because she tripped and fell, and one by one, the people all had to stop because they could not keep up with Gracie. Then suddenly Gracie realized how quiet everything was again. She looked behind her and the whole world was quiet. People were resting. How nice, Gracie thought. So that silly little dog turned around and walked back home all by herself. The painters did not return to Gracie's house that day. They had to go take naps. And once again, Gracie had a quiet house. She was happy. That silly little dog. The end. It's a George Thing by David Bedford and Russell Julian. George had two best friends, Peachy and Moon. Every morning, George went to Peachy's house to play big ball. Playing big ball was a Peachy thing. It was the thing Peachy liked best. George wasn't very good at it. Every afternoon, George went to Moon's house to play rocks. Playing rocks was a Moon thing. It was the thing Moon liked best. George didn't understand it. One day, when George was walking home from Moon's house, he heard a new sound coming from Priscilla's riverboat. Priscilla was playing a guitar, and when she began singing, George did this. "You're a really good dancer, George," said Priscilla. "I'm putting you in my show tonight. It's at 7 o'clock. Don't be late." George had to hurry to get ready, but it took ages to find something to wear. Then he checked the time. "I'm late," yelled George. On his way to the show, George saw Peachy and Moon looking for him, so he hid where they would never look. He didn't think his friends would understand. When George finally arrived at the show, he had a surprise. It looked like the whole jungle was there. George felt very nervous, but when Priscilla began to sing, George did this, and this, and this, and that. George was having so much fun, but then George froze. Everyone was staring at him. He had never felt so alone. Priscilla was still singing, but George couldn't move. Then suddenly there was someone beside him, and another someone. It was Peachy and Moon. "I'm not very good at this," puffed Peachy. "I don't understand it," huffed Moon. "I don't even know what it is." George grinned. "It's a George thing," he said, and he showed his friends how to do it. From then on, George still went to Peachy's house to do Peachy things, and he still went to Moon's house to do Moon things, but sometimes they all got together to do a George thing. The end. It's My Room by Robert Munsch and Michael Marchenko. "Look," said Matthew's mom, "we're going to have a big new trailer. You get your own room." "Well," said Matthew, "will there be lots of people in my room like in our old trailer?" "No," said his mother. "Well," said Matthew, "will there be just me in my room?" "Yes," said his mother. "Yes, yes, 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 yes," said Matthew. How about dogs and cats and horses? Said Matthew. No, said his mother. There will not be dogs and cats and horses. This is a room just for you and for you alone. Yes, 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 said Matthew. That day, Matthew and his mom moved into their new trailer. Wow, yelled Matthew. Finally a room just for me. But the next day, his mother said, my brother from back home, the one with the 2 sons, is thinking of moving here, and they will be visiting for a while. No, yelled Matthew. No, 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 no. Come on, said his mom. It will just be for a little while. So the 2 cousins came to sleep in Matthew's bed. It took Matthew a week before he could sleep without dreaming about stinky toes. A week later, his mother said, Oh, Matthew, my sister is going to move here, and her dogs are going to have to stay in your room for a while. No, yelled Matthew. No, 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 no. Those are the dogs that ate the mailman, and they will probably eat me while I am asleep. Nobody liked that mailman, said his mother, and my sister needs help, so you will have to share for just a little bit. So the 2 dogs came and slept in Matthew's bed. It took him a week before he could sleep without dreaming that he was being eaten by large, ugly dogs. A few weeks later, his mother said, My 5 cousins are moving here, and they are bringing bunk beds, and they will be in your room for just a little while. No, yelled Matthew. No, 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 no. They all snore, and I do not want them in my room. Ha, said his mother. You snore, and they are my cousins, and that's that. Matthew decided to sleep under the trailer, but mosquitoes and black flies came out and almost ate him alive. I have had it, said Matthew. It is my room and not a hotel. Matthew went into the trailer and took a package of pork chops out of the refrigerator. Then he walked down the road past the trucks to the dump. At the dump, he yelled, Yo, bears! Pork chops! 3 bears followed Matthew. He ran back home, opened the door, and threw in the pork chops. The bears ran in after the pork chops. Matthew's relatives yelled, Bears! Ah! And all ran out of the trailer and didn't come back. When Matthew's mother got back, she was happy to hear that the relatives had left, so Matthew decided not to tell her that he was now sleeping with bears. The end. Pyjama Day by Robert Munsch. Andrew's old pajamas were full of holes, so his father took him to get new ones. They went to a store, and Andrew said, Yuck, these pajamas do not feel right. They went to another store, and Andrew said, Yuck, these pajamas do not smell right. They went to another store, and Andrew said, Yuck, these pajamas do not taste right. I'll wear my old ones. His father took him to one more store. Way in the back was a rack that said, Perfect Pajamas. Andrew looked at the pajamas and said, All right, they look okay. He smelled the pajamas and said, All right, they smell okay. He tasted the pajamas and said, All right, they taste okay. So his father bought the pajamas. The next day was Pyjama Day at school. Andrew put one foot into his new pajamas and yawned once. He put the other foot in and yawned twice. He put one arm in and his eyes closed. He put the other arm in and fell fast asleep. This was very strange because it was only 9 o'clock. Andrew's teacher put him in the back of the room and said, He'll wake up in a bit. Andrew slept until recess, and his teacher started to get worried. He slept until lunch, and the principal started to get worried. He slept all afternoon, and even the kids started to get worried. And at the end of the day, the teacher called for a doctor. The doctor boinked Andrew on the knee, looked in his ears, and looked in his eyes. She said that he was fine, but Andrew was still asleep. Then Andrew's big sister came to walk him home from school. She said, "I'm going to call Mom." Andrew's mother took one look and said, "I see what's wrong. He's wearing perfect pajamas." She took Andrew's arms out of the pajamas and he yawned. She took his other arm out of the pajamas and he opened one eye just for a second. She took one foot and he opened both his eyes. She took out the other foot and Andrew jumped up and said, "Is it recess yet?" The principal came in and said, "What's going on here?" "Look," said Andrew's mother. "It was perfect pajamas that made Andrew sleep. These are perfect pajamas." "That's crazy," said the principal. "I say there is no such thing as perfect pajamas, and I am the principal, so I would know everything twice." But just to be sure, the principal decided to try them out. The principal looked at the pajamas and they looked okay. He smelled the pajamas and they smelled okay. He tasted the pajamas and they tasted okay. He put one foot in the pajamas and he yawned. He put the other foot in the pajamas and he yawned again. He put his arms in the pajamas and he fell fast asleep. Andrew's mother carried the principal back to his office and then she took Andrew home. Then Andrew's mom made him some real perfect pajamas. They kept Andrew as warm as toast, even on very cold nights, and they were really perfect because they only made Andrew go to sleep when he wanted to go to sleep. And the principal, he's still sleeping. The end. No Clean Clothes by Robert Munsch. Lacey opened the top drawer of her dresser. No clean clothes. Lacey opened the middle drawer of her dresser. No clean clothes. Lacey opened the bottom drawer of her dresser. No clean clothes. Lacey looked all around her bedroom. No clean clothes. She ran downstairs and yelled, "Mom, Mom, Mom, why didn't you wash my clothes?" "Lacey," said her mother, "I would wash your clothes if I could find your clothes. You hide them under your bed, you lend them to your friends, you leave them in the backyard. Sometimes I think you feed your underwear to the dog." "Mom," said Lacey, "don't be silly. All I need is one shirt. Can't you just find me one clean shirt?" "Well," said her mom, "there is that nice shirt that Grandma gave you for your birthday. You have never worn it." "That shirt is a strange Grandma present," said Lacey. "When I was 3, Grandma gave me a shirt that said Snoogie Wookums, and everyone laughed at me. When I was 4, Grandma gave me a shirt that said Cutie Patootie, and everyone laughed at me. When I was 5, Grandma gave me a shirt that said Cuddly Wunkums, and everyone laughed at me. Now I am 6, and Grandma gives me a shirt that says Kiss Me, I'm Perfect. I am not wearing that shirt to school. Only a grandma would choose a shirt like that." "Now, Lacey," said her mom, "just wear it for this morning. I will wash a shirt and bring it to you at school at recess." "You will wash it right away?" said Lacey. "Yes," said Lacey's mom. "You will not talk on the phone?" "No," said her mom. "You will not wash the dishes?" "No," said her mom. "You will not go shopping on the way?" "No," said her mom. "You will not go to work and chop down a tree?" "No," said her mom. "Okay," said Lacey. "I will be on the steps of the school at recess." Lacey put on the strange grandma shirt and walked down the road. A kitty cat looked up at her and read her shirt and gave her a kitty cat kiss on her ear. Lick, 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 lick. "Neat," said Lacey. "I got a kitty cat kiss. Maybe I am going to like this shirt." She walked farther down the street and met a dog. The dog read Lacey's shirt, jumped up, and gave her a doggy kiss on the ear. Slick, slick, slick. "Wow," said Lacey, "I got a kitty cat kiss and a doggy kiss. This is a wonderful shirt." Lacey walked further down the street. An eagle flew in circles around her and landed on her head. It leaned down, read her shirt, and gave her an eagle kiss on the nose. Dink, dink, dink. Lacey yelled, "An eagle kiss! An eagle kiss! I got an eagle kiss! I love my grandma. I love this shirt." Lacey walked farther down the street and met a moose. The moose looked at Lacey, read her shirt, and gave her a large, wet moose kiss right up the front of her face and over the top of her head. Slurp. "Fantastic," said Lacey. "I am the first person ever to be kissed by a moose." When Lacey got to school, she ran inside and yelled, "Teacher, teacher, look, I got a kitty cat kiss, I got a dog kiss, I got an eagle kiss, I got a moose kiss, all because of my wonderful grandma shirt." "Neat," said her teacher, "but maybe you should go and wash. Your hair is full of green moose slime." "Yuck," said Lacey. "Very gross." When Lacey came back to her desk, a boy named Johnny sat down beside her. He read her shirt and gave her a kiss. "Blech!" yelled Lacey. "Boy kiss! Ah!" She ran back into the bathroom and washed her face until recess. Then she went back outside and got really lucky because she was kissed by a bear. When Lacey got home after school, her mother said, "I didn't see you at school. Did Grandma's shirt turn out to be okay?" "I love it," said Lacey, "and I called Grandma from the principal's office. She's going to send everyone at school a strange grandma shirt." The end. Aaron's Hair by Robert Munsch. Aaron wanted to look just like his daddy, so he let his hair get long. Only then he started to have problems. If he combed his hair up, his hair flipped down. If he combed his hair down, his hair flipped up. If he combed his hair over, his hair flipped under. If he combed his hair under, his hair flipped over. One day while Aaron was combing his hair, he got so mad that he yelled, "Hair, I hate you." That hurt the hair's feelings. It jumped off Aaron's head and ran out of the bathroom. When Aaron came downstairs, his mother said, "Aaron, you're bald. What happened?" "My hair ran away," said Aaron. "I got mad at it and it ran away." "This is terrible," said his mother. "Go catch it." So Aaron ran out the door and his mother went to pick up the baby. She noticed that the baby had a lot of hair. "Aaron," she yelled, "I found your hair." But when Aaron ran back inside, the hair jumped over his head and ran out the door and down the street. So Aaron chased it down the street, and after a while he came to a lady who was yelling and screaming, "Help! Help! Help!" "What's the matter?" asked Aaron. "Look at my tummy," said the lady. "This hair came running down the street and now it's growing on my tummy." "It does look a little strange," said Aaron. "Make it go away," said the lady. "Just tell it to get off," said Aaron. "Tell it you don't like it." The lady yelled, "Hair, I hate you." The hair jumped off the lady and ran down the street, and Aaron ran after it. Next, Aaron came to a man who was running in circles, yelling, "Help! Help! Help! Help!" "What's the matter?" asked Aaron. "Look at me," said the man. "This hair came running down the street, and now it is growing on my behind." "It does look a little strange," said Aaron. "Make it go away," yelled the man. "Just tell it to get off," said Aaron. "Tell it you don't like it." The man yelled, "Hair, I hate you." The hair jumped off the man and ran down the street, and Aaron ran after it. Aaron chased it all the way to the middle of downtown, where there was an enormous traffic jam. A policeman was screaming, "Help! Help! Help! Help!" Aaron went to the policeman and said, "That's my hair." "Your hair," said the policeman. "This hair came running down the street, ran up my back, and started growing on my face. I can't see a thing. I am supposed to be directing traffic, and everything is all jammed up." "Right," said Aaron. "What a mess. 10 cars, 9 motorcycles, 8 trucks, 7 buses, 6 baby carriages, 5 skateboards, 4 bicycles, 3 ambulances, 2 fire trucks, and 1 train." "And my face," said the policeman. "This hair is growing on my face." "It does look a little strange," said Aaron. "Make it go away," yelled the policeman. "Just tell it to get off," said Aaron. "Tell it you don't like it." So the policeman yelled, "Hair, I hate you." The hair jumped off the policeman's face and ran into the pile of cars. "Oh no," said Aaron. "Now I'll never find it." Just then the police chief came up and said, "What is going on? Everything is all jammed up, and who put that hair on the statue?" "Statue?" said Aaron. "The statue in the fountain," said the police officer. "Get that hair off the statue." So Aaron climbed up the statue and almost caught the hair, but it ran away, and Aaron chased it all the way home, and then he couldn't find it at all. At dinner, Aaron said, "I'm bald forever. I wish my hair would come back. I like my hair." And the hair jumped off Father's head onto the table, ran across over the mashed potatoes, peas, and chicken, and climbed back onto Aaron's head. "Fantastic," said Aaron. "Now if I can grow a beard, I will look like Daddy." "No problem," said the hair. The end.